Yesterday I made yogurt, and I just made, I guess it was 2 days ago, I just made a ½ gallon. Because in order to make yogurt, what I have found is that you have to find a yogurt that you're making your yogurt out of that you like, because yours is going to take on whatever flavor. I'm very, very picky about my yogurt. I only like Favilla yogurt. And so the only way I could find it here is in great big quart containers, and I only need ½ cup. And so I finally found one that was just in the little, it has fruit on one side and plain on the other, and I found one on the shelf at a store here. And so I bought it and made the yogurt. And the first thing I did after I made my yogurt was to take out my amount for the next time, because I always forget to do that. And so today I'm making more yogurt. I have it in here, and I've got and we are at 113, going up to 180. This is a recipe that I learned from Megan from Creating Essence, and it works the best for any that I have found. And we have it go to 180, cool it back down to 115, add my yogurt, turn it all off. We turn it off when it hits 180. Then cover it with 2 or 3 towels and let it set overnight. I finally found out one of the reasons that you want to make it go up to 180 is that you want to kill any of that bacteria that might be in there, and then you're introducing the bacteria you want with your yogurt. Now, my milk is raw milk, so I realize that by taking it up to 180 I'm pasteurizing it, but I'm okay with that. It's coming out just fine, and it makes really good yogurt. And this last batch that I made, I had a bunch of fresh blueberries from Farmer Dre, our local farmer here, and he does so much of the fruit that we get to buy. And I just poured all the blueberries into my yogurt and made blueberry yogurt. We finished it off for our morning snack today, and so I need more. It's not really a problem because I have a little bit of milk here. I'm actually want to thank, I can't remember, one of our viewers that reminded me to go to the New England cheese making company. I actually am a member there. I have my own account, and I forgot about it because I haven't made it in so long. So I've ordered my rennet and some of the other things that I need so that I can start really making cheese. I'm going to be making some cream cheese, and I wanted to find a recipe that you can make cream cheese without adding in the culture, and I found some with a lemon, and we forgot to buy the lemon. Anyway, I want to make cream cheese because we have beautiful peppers out there, and I want to make jalapeno poppers. If you don't know what jalapeno poppers are and you've never had them, they're so good. So what you do is you take a jalapeno and you slice it open. I usually take most of the seeds out, fill it full of cream cheese, and wrap it in bacon and stick it in the oven. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I would like to share with you some of our findings yesterday. These are way too big, so when they're this big, I don't care for them. So these are getting fixed up for the chickens. This one would make great zucchini bread, except that I'm not doing sugar or carbs like that, so the chickens will probably get that. These are small and cute and little. This one got a little too big, so what I will do is slice this and grill it. And there's a few of our tomatoes that we got. On 4th of July, we went over and to some friends and had a barbecue. And we took our little barbecue so that we could, let me get where the light's better, we could grill vegetables. And we grilled yellow squash, eggplant, and zucchini, and acorn, patty pan squash, scallop squash. And oh my word, it was such a hit. kids, adults, they all liked it, and that made my heart really happy. And so we're trying to use this food up. Jim bragged too soon about the green tomato hornworms, because we had 3 of them yesterday. We cannot find our black light. It's driving us nuts because we saw it, we pulled it out, we set it aside, but who knows where we set it, so that we could find them at night, because that's when they glue. But we're just trying to use our food as fast as we get it, our vegetables and our milk. We are low on meat, so we'll be very glad when we can have our chickens, and we won't have our beef for a long time, but we used to get all of our beef from Butcher Box, and right now we're just holding off on everything for a little while. But food is the reason we are on a homestead. So we cook our food. This morning's breakfast, I had it was bacon that I cut off of our pork from when we were here before, and we never cured it. I didn't even cure it. I just sliced it, salt and peppered it, put some sage on it, and fried it. Oh, so good. Had that with some scrambled eggs, our blueberry yogurt, some of the kale, no, the Swiss chard cooked, and milk, our milk. And we just ate our vitamins. So it was really good. I mean, one of our quotes that we always do is grow your supplements, and we mean to do that by growing your food and eating it that way, so that you could get all of the vitamins that you need. Our yogurt is ready. So I take my nifty little thermometer, and look at that, it says 180 exactly. So I unplug it, turn it off, and now it goes down to 115. We're gonna eat dinner, go do all the evening chores, plus some projects, because it's cool now, and then we'll come back, and just before we go to bed, we'll add this and put it to bed. But look at my squash. This is grilled squash with onions. See, look at how golden brown it was. And then and tomatoes from our garden. And then I just took like 2 tablespoons of butter and just melted it over the top, so that when we go and eat, we don't have to worry about, I love butter and squash and squishing it all up, and it's already squashed. So we're gonna take a salmon. I'll just do it like this and put it on the plate and load it full of vegetables. Is that enough? Yes. And then, and the next one, a couple of roll biscuits. And I have a little bit of leftover beans and pork. So yeah, I realize we're having fish and pork, but I think you'll live, right? How's that, Jim?
Let's eat.
Last night before I went to bed, the yogurt reached 150, the milk reached 115 degrees. So I added in the yogurt that I had. This is it this morning before I strain it and take off the whey from it. And I also am making bread and butter pickles, because I know that cucumbers have to be utilized immediately, at least within the first day, so that they don't get wilty. And so I will show you, I'm making an easy refrigerator bread and butter pickles, and I just cut them up and says to put a tablespoon and a half of salt on top of, it's kosher salt, on top of 5.5 cups of cucumbers sliced in a 1/4 inch slice or so. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I like this small strainer. It's deep, and I put it into a bowl like here. In fact, I can probably just do it right there so you can see it well. And then what I do is I just take one of our clean dish towels that I get. I buy a package of 10 of these at Walmart. They used to be $4 or $5. I think they're $8 now. They work so amazing for everything. I also have 2 kinds of slotted spoons. One is a little bit wider, one has smaller, it's more like a screen, really tight screen. I love both of them for canning and or doing this kind of stuff. So you see I pick up the yogurt, oh, and in that one it's not holding it, so I will use the other one. Okay. We tasted this morning. It's so good when it's just warm. And not even drained off at all. I love it. I could just literally probably sit and eat a cup or 2 of it without it being off. I'm going to strain this because I made a gallon batch last night. I mean, that's what we made. And it's coming down into the bowl here. I guess this is one disadvantage of using this one, because I do have a bigger one, so I am going to use the bigger one since I have the bigger batch. We are getting a bumper crop of potatoes this year. If you remember the video where I unloaded all of them that came in the mail, it took us a long time to get them all done, planted. So they're planted in stages. So we've been harvesting the ones that were planted first, and they're beautiful. Let me show you. This is a little bit of them. I've been having these cure for a week, but this is just from like 2 plants. It's crazy. We love it. So I'm actually going to pour this in now because my bowl is big enough to do that. Scrape it all out. And now I can pick it up. And let it drain off. So you can not drain it so much and then just have it to eat like regular yogurt, or the more you drain it, the more it becomes like Greek yogurt. I actually like it both ways. So my whey is getting in my whey. So let me set this here and pour my whey into a container. Oops. Jim's out taking care of the chickens, and he's going to mow just the yard in our zone A closest to the house and the chicken run. And then today we are going to start tackling the chicken run and being able to cover it with tins so that they are not so hot during the day. And it's supposed to be 90 today with a heat index of 100. It's been really quite nice lately, so we can't complain. And then tomorrow we're supposed to get 50% chance of rain. Cross your fingers that we do. So now what I will do is just let this sit and drain out on its own as much as it wants to for a while. And I'll come back to it. My pickles need to sit for an hour and a half. My yogurt needs to sit for a while. So I'm going to go on out and do some work outside. Hair's wet, just showered. Did a bunch of weed eating. We had somebody come by that we'd been collecting metal for all along, and junk. He wanted some of our junk, and he's going to take it and sell the metal and stuff. And so he came by and got all that. Oh, so nice to have things done. Hey, we just found out he wanted tires, but now the people that he was taking them to don't want them anymore. What do we do with tires? We don't want them on the property. We don't want to be creative with them. We don't want to make them be for plants or compost or anything. We don't want them on the property. The landfill doesn't take them, so we're going to call around and find out who takes them. So if you happen to know, give me a call. I mean, yeah. If you happen to know, just text me down below. So Jim is out making new pathways for the next paddock for the cows. We walked the perimeter yesterday and they've eaten it down really well. So he's out doing that. And I am going to finish up this yogurt. So I got that much more whey. I'll put all my whey in one place. And whey has its own benefits. The recipe I learned for mayonnaise at Mother Earth News Fair clear back when we were in Oregon used whey, and it makes it a lot better. So I'm going to save some of this whey. The animals love it. Obviously, it's really good for them, but there's a lot of things we can do cooking with it also. So here is my yogurt. And I will scrape it and put it into a container. My problem is right now I am low on containers because we are putting up so much food. Oh, there's one. Yay. Jim went to get yogurt last night to have some and came to me and said, "Don't we have any more yogurt?" And I said, "Nope, we ate it all, but it's in the crock pot getting made for tomorrow." So now he can have some good yogurt. And one of the things I want to do right away is pull some out for my next batch, because that is what I always forgot to do. A half a cup to a cup. I'm not so precise on that. It just needs to have a good culture. Looks like my bowl is going to take it. So that's wonderful. So I got like a quart of yogurt and a quart of whey out of my gallon of milk. And I'm okay with that. I am okay. It's a wonderful thing to do with milk. I've got my fan here, so I don't have my air conditioning on yet. So now I'm going to pull out the cucumbers. I have 5.5 cups of sliced cucumbers with a tablespoon and a half of salt on them. And what I'm going to do is put them in the colander and rinse them really well. They've been in there, it's supposed to be an hour to an hour and a half. Unfortunately, it has been 2 hours for me. But I think it's just fine. So it says, wash them under, oh, I'm probably freezing my husband. I should go see. He's taking a shower. I'll be right back. He said he didn't feel a thing, so I'm gonna keep. I just warned him. I said, if the water gets hot, it's because all right, so that's done. Going to rinse out the bowl really well. You know what? I don't think that's drained enough. So I'm going to let it drain a little more, like that. And I'm going to take 1 white onion, slice thinly, and mix it in with it. Let these flavors all munch together while I make the brew that goes over it. Now, if you know me at all, you know that I do not use a lot of sugar. I don't know if this requires a lot of sugar in order to work well. It calls for a cup of white sugar and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I am putting in a 1/3 of a cup of coconut sugar. That's all I'm going to put in. 1/3 cup sugar. One cup of white vinegar. 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. 1½ teaspoons, oops, 1½ teaspoons of mustard seed. One-half teaspoon of celery seed. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of turmeric. Mix it all together, simmer it. Bring to simmer over medium heat until all the sugar's dissolved. I've got the cucumbers and the onions all rinsed and drained and in a bowl. We've got the concoction that's simmered, and I'm pouring it over that. It will sit at room temperature for 1 hour and then go into the refrigerator for 24 hours covered. And it just stays in the refrigerator, and eat them at will. This has been sitting for an hour at room temperature, and now I am going to go ahead and put it into my jars. I'm going to let it do airtight in that and equal the fluid on it, close them up, and they last. They need to sit for 24 hours before you eat them. But you know what? And by the way, my third cup of sugar is just fine. I think I'm going to put a little bit right there. I'm not making a mess, am I? Okay, that's pretty easy. Ouch. Okay, in the fridge they go. 2 bottles of, what are they? Bread and butter pickles and onions. Really good.